Let me ask you a quick question. If I told you, hey, do you want to lose weight? And you say yes, and I'll give you two options. You can either eat less calories or more calories. Which would you choose? Obviously, most people are going to go, well, I need to eat less. But it's a myth, and it's probably causing you to gain weight. So I want to hop into why this is happening in your body. And I want to help you understand what's actually going on from a scientific standpoint. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a couple of simple steps you can take to get away from this, to enjoy your life more, number one, but also feel better. Number two, I'll share some case studies of people who have done it. So, like we talked about, the big myth is that to lose weight, you need to eat less, or if you want to lose fat, but it's not the case. Now, let's jump back in time a little bit to kind of drive this point home. We know that in the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, they looked at Dutch families. These were not extremely active Dutch families. Think they were well-to-do, like doctors' families. They were eating on average 3,000 calories a day per person. Okay, quite a bit of calories for the average person. We also know U.S. Book of Agriculture in the 30s, they looked at 154-pound moderately active men. Now, if you plug those metrics into any calorie calculator today, they're going to tell you that guy needs to eat 2,500 calories, give or take. Well, these guys back in the 30s, same body weight, same everything, 3,500 calories a day on average. All right. My own personal story. I went down the rabbit hole of extreme diets. I did all that stuff. I got to the point where I was really starting to experience some health issues at the time. And I was measuring calories, weighing food. I was eating anywhere from, on really low days, 1,800 calories, but on average, 2,000, 2,100 calories, somewhere in there. Nowadays, I'm eating 3,000 calories and over. And my weight's slowly going down. I feel better. I sleep through the night. My hormones are better. Everything has improved. Okay. But it's not a quick process. And it's a tough one for people to wrap your head around, that you can eat more but lose weight. And here's what's going on. Okay. Here's one of the things, not everything, but we know that obesity, as mind bending as this is going to sound, obesity is actually a low energy state. And what that means, okay, in one study, I'll put a link in the description, but that going on these extreme diets, particularly high fat, can actually block an enzyme called aconitase. Now, that's not the biggest takeaway. The biggest takeaway that you can get from this video is that instead of focusing on restriction and focus on improving your metabolism. That's what I mean by obesity being a low energy state. I can look at you and go, okay, I'm going to give you 2,500 calories. That's not important. All that's important is, can your body convert those 2,500 calories from rough food into energy? And what we mean by energy is, can your body convert that food into ATP and carbon dioxide primarily? And that's where people with obesity or crashed metabolisms like I had, they lose that ability. And that's why, even if they're only eating 2,000 calories a day, they're going to have trouble losing weight. They're going to have a lot of other symptoms. I'll talk about that in a second, but that's why it means it's a low energy state. You lack the ability to turn your food into energy. So a calorie at some point becomes kind of meaningless. I've seen people struggle to lose weight on 12 to 1,400 calories a day, because over time, it doesn't happen right away, but over time, your body adapts, cranks the metabolism back, which is a good thing. It's a survival mechanism. If you were lost in the woods, you want your body cranking back your metabolism to survive. But in the everyday world, we're not looking to survive. We actually want to have robust health and to be able to convert high amounts of food into high amounts of energy. Okay, fat loss, a fast metabolism is good for fat loss. All right. So here's what's going to happen. If you continue to restrict, and I speak from experience and watching other people go through the same thing, if you continue to restrict calories thinking that's going to fix the issue, it's not. You're going to experience poor sleep, weight gain, low thyroid symptoms, This is extremely common. Okay, so to turn this on your head, to turn this myth on its head, there's two things that you have to do to fix the issue. Number one, this is like no brainer, smack yourself in the head type deal, but you have to stop the restriction. It's clearly not working, it's harming you, and it's blocking your metabolism. Okay, so you have to stop restricting calories. And then the next step is you have to look at your life and go, am I doing anything right now that could be hampering my metabolism, causing you to have a poor metabolism? And there are a lot of things that can do it. I'm going to kind of hit the big ticket items. First one that you have to address, I tell everybody this, is get rid of PUFAs, polyunsaturated fatty acids, seed oils, uh, corn oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, all those. Terrible for your metabolism. You want to eliminate them from your diet. Okay. Lack of micronutrients. A lot of people, no matter how much they eat, if the foods aren't rich in micronutrients, you need those micronutrients to be able to run your metabolism, to be able to increase the metabolism. That's why we want to eat whole food, natural foods, eggs, raw milk, cheeses, the ripe fruits, a good mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and fats. Okay. And it needs to be from whole food sources primarily. And you will over time begin to see your metabolism pick back up. Poor gut health. That's a huge one, a huge topic. I don't want to go into it in too much depth, but as you provide your body with the right kind of foods over time, your microflora can improve and will improve. It takes some time, and I'll talk about that aspect here in a second. Stress is a huge one. It can be any form of stress. All right. Lack of sleep is a form of stress. Your job can be a form of stress. Marriage, emotional stress, all these things can add to your stress load, which is going to dampen your metabolism. Sun exposure is a huge one. Sun exposure is huge for vitamin D. It's huge for glucose metabolism. People don't realize this. You need sun exposure. You don't want to get sunburn, but you need sun exposure for a healthy metabolism. Your hormonal state, are you estrogen dominant? Do you lack progesterone? There's all sorts of things here we could look at. And also your toxin load just overall. Well, let me share a case study of somebody I've been helping who came to me. She's a female, fairly tall, roughly 195 pounds, and it had been slowly increasing over time. Now, she had paid for very expensive coaching programs and all sorts of feedback. And I had been talking to her for a bit and encouraged her. I'm like, you're restricting. That's why you're gaining weight. And she couldn't wrap her head around it. At the time, she was eating approximately 1,700 calories a day at 195 pounds, and it was continuing to go up. Okay, she started doing this in the 180s, and her weight had just kept going up and up. And her response and her coach's response was to continue to cut back calories. It wasn't working. I explained why in this video. So here's what we did. First of all, like I said, we stopped the restriction. I'm like, we got you at 1,700 tomorrow. I want you at 1,750, and we're going to keep inching this up. And we're going to make sure we don't have any huge issues going on here, which she did. Okay, she had a huge load of stress and some other things going on. So we did have to address those. And we made sure that the food she was eating were supporting her metabolism. I've done videos on this before, so if you want a list of those foods, feel free to go grab it. Also go to my website. I talk about those a lot more on the free checklist. But at any rate, started bumping the calories up. Now we're 8 to 10 weeks out. She's roughly right now around 2,300 calories, and she's lost 8 pounds. Now people will look at that and go, well, I could do this and lose 20 pounds in, 8 weeks rather than 8 pounds by restricting. And you might be able to do that. But again, why do people keep going on these things and off? Because it's miserable. They slow their metabolism down. They can't do it anymore. They get off. Their metabolism screwed up, so they gain weight. That's this yo-yo dieting that we're always talking about? Doesn't it make more sense to actually try to fuel your body with what it needs to support a healthy metabolism? A byproduct of a healthy metabolism is your weight is going to stabilize. In general cases, it is going to go down. It's not going to go down in a lot of times at the speed that you want. And that's where people, me included, you have a tough time wrapping our heads around, I'm going to eat more and lose weight, and it doesn't happen rapidly. I've not seen it happen necessarily rapidly. Yes, that's why fighters will restrict calories and carbs before a fight to just shed water weight and lose a ton of weight, but it's miserable. They immediately go back, the weight balloons up, and on they go. I can tell you from experience in working with people, this is such a much more enjoyable experience. Okay, so I hope this video kind of shed some light on what might be going on with you and why you want to get away from restricting. It's not helping you. It's not enjoyable, and it's just not a good way to live for you or your body. So again, I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments any other videos that you would like me to cover, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.